Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I just wanted to chat a little bit about what I'm making currently. So I have my hairdresser is with child, and I wanted desperately, I've been wanting to make one of these little mermaid baby cocoon blankets. I looked at probably between, I don't know, a dozen and 20 different patterns. I've never made one of these before. There are all different stitches you can make, but I really liked the ones with the crocodile stitch. And that's what you see here. So I looked at several videos, and I'd never done the crocodile stitch. Not difficult to learn. And then they all have these little fins on the bottom. I have to block this. This hasn't been blocked yet. They all have these fins on the bottom. Well, all the patterns I looked at, you made the body first, the tail part, and then the fin you made separately and you sewed it on. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I felt like a couple of them just looked kind of, I didn't care for the look with the sewn on tail, because they would make it wide and then they would put it like that and then they would sew it on. So I found this pattern on Etsy, and the link will be in the description below. And she does have 2 videos that go with the pattern that get you started on the fin portion. So you start here with this small U-shaped in the middle, and then you just build around there, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So once she gets you started, it's real easy to finish it with the pattern. Then once you get done with the tail, she shows you how to start the crocodile stitch on the top of it. And then once you get going with that, you just keep on going from there. So I really like this pattern, and I wanted to show you some of the ones I looked at and show you, what I think might be good if you're just a beginner crocheter and you're not quite ready to tackle the crocodile stitch yet. The crocodile stitch is, you do 1 row of V stitches. Do you see that, how that looks like a V? And then the next row, you're going to, what you do is you crochet 5 double crochets up one side of the V, chain 1, then you're going to do 5 double crochets on the other side of the V. Then you'll skip the next stitch, like this is the skipped one. Then you'll go into this one, then you'll skip 1 and go to the next one. And then when you're on the next row, see how they're going to be staggered? So they're not going to overlap evenly, but they're going to stagger each other. There are several videos on how to actually do the crocodile stitch if you need to. And if you buy this pattern, you'll see she'll show you how to do it. And her videos are very clear and very concise. All right, so now I will go over some of the patterns that I found that you may want to use if you're not ready to tackle the crocodile stitch. Some free patterns, some ones that are actually videos on YouTube that you can follow, and are a little easier than the crocodile stitch. And then of course below I will put the link to this one, and I will also show you, along with the other patterns, what the finished tail of this looks like. This is just the tail part, and then from here obviously it's going to expand and it's going to get a little bit wider and go up. I'm doing one for a newborn, so there are a few different sizes if you wanted to do one a little bit bigger. If you had a baby I think she's got 3 to 6 months, and I don't know if she has anything over, I don't know if she has 6 to 12. I'll have to look at the pattern. But anyway, I like this one because I didn't have to sew the tail on, and I think it looks much better this way. So here we go. Okay, here I'm going to show you all the different patterns that are available for these baby mermaid tails. So this one here is one that I looked at, and it's really pretty. And she's got 0 to 3 months and 3 to 6 months. And it's made from, the stitch is a shell stitch. So that's not a difficult stitch to do. It's really pretty. This would be a good one if you are not comfortable doing the crocodile stitch, or you wanted something a little bit easier. I think this is a really pretty pattern. Once again, this is where you make the tail or the fin separately from the cocoon, and then you're going to sew it on. And I was looking for one that had the tail already, that it was all one piece, and I only found one pattern like that. Most of them are like this where you sew it on, and that's fine. I just was looking for something different, and I kind of wanted to do the crocodile stitch. So here's one for, she's got one for a baby that's 12 months old. So there's that. If you are new to crochet, Bee Hooked Crochet up here, if you look at the place where I'm going, she's a really good pattern writer. This is a really sweet little cocoon, and it's really pretty, and it's just simply, it's super simple, nothing difficult. It is a written pattern. There is no video, so you have to be able to read a pattern, which is not difficult. It's only chain, single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. So it's not a difficult pattern to make as long as you're comfortable reading patterns. Once again, she sews this tail on as well. You can kind of see here how it's sewn on the bottom, and the little ruffles at the top are really sweet. Okay, the one that I purchased is, let me go here, online here, and it's the fin and the cocoon are all one piece. And I really like this one. It's $5.25. It's from Longhorn Prairie, and this is the one I've started on. So I really liked this one because you just make the fin part here, and then you go right into that, and there's no, you don't have to sew on the tail. It's a really cute little bikini shell top and a little crown headband that's really sweet. So there's the crown headband, there's the little bikini top, and then there's all three pieces right there. So she has 2 videos included with this. She gets you started on the fin portion, and then once you get started, you just keep increasing and making it bigger. Then she gets you started on the crocodile stitch. This is called the crocodile stitch here. So on the other videos that I looked at for mermaid tails, there were some that weren't as good as other ones. I looked at this one, but her video is a little bit difficult to understand if you are not really advanced, and she goes really fast in that video, and sometimes the video goes out of focus. This one here is interesting because she says it's the crocodile stitch, but she does it a different way, and I'm not going to say it's wrong because in crochet everything is really subjective, and if you get 5 different mermaid crocodile stitch tails, you might get 5 different ways of doing it. She does not do the crocodile stitch the traditional way, so hers doesn't look the same. It's still cute, but it's not the same as what I'm making. She does it a little differently. So typically the crocodile stitch is done where you make V stitches, and then you crochet up both sides of the V stitch, then you skip a stitch. She crochets in every single stitch around, and she still does a type of crocodile stitch, but she's not staggering them. So ordinarily if you do the crocodile stitch here, you'll see, I'll show you one, you'll see here her scales, like you're making what looks like little scales. They're not staggered at all, which it's just a different way of doing it. It's not, there's no right or wrong, it's just a different way. But I noticed her scales didn't seem to be, they kind of go on top of each other. See how they're all even there? So if I pause this video, they're kind of all right on top of each other. Whereas here, I can show you a video, and you can see that they should be staggered. And this is the girl at Bee Hooked Crochet. She has really good videos. See how they should be staggered? You should have one here, then the next row down should be in between these two. This one should be in between these two. So that's typically how you see the crocodile stitch done, and that's how I'm doing it in the pattern that I'm doing. This one is a little bit different. To me, this is not the true way to do a crocodile stitch, but like I said, it's just a different way. but not typically have seen it done. But her pattern seems pretty easy. But see how her stitches are all right, one on top of the other one. They're not staggered. And I think it looks, I like it better when they're staggered because they look more like scales. This is a super easy video to follow, so if you're a beginner, I think you would be able to follow that video. I think you'd be able to follow this one right here by Lovingly Knee, and depending on what size you want. So those are the few that I've looked at for babies. I just really liked this one better because you had the fin, and then you have the cocoon part here, and it also came with a pattern for the cute little pattern for the little top and the little crown. So that's just a little bit about some mermaid tails that if you're like me and you're looking to make one for someone who's having a baby, they make great little photo op pictures for newborns, and they're just adorable. Thanks for watching.